Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Tonight we're showing films with music scores by the avant-garde composer Leonard Rosenman. And next we have an example of Rosenman's work in the late 70s as we bring you a film that Steve McQueen made at the height of his fame, but a movie that chances are you've never seen and very likely have never even heard of. In case you don't know Steve McQueen's history, in the 1970s there was no movie star bigger than Steve McQueen. Films such as Bullet and the Thomas Crown Affair, Towering Inferno, The Great Escape, The Getaway, and others made him legendary. He was known as the King of Cool, the movie star who set fashion trends, also styles of behavior with his passion for motorcycles, race cars, and beautiful women. And the more famous Steve McQueen became, the more he took control of his career, which worked to his advantage since he did seem to have a very uncanny knack for picking projects the public wanted to see. That's why it came, though, as a shocker when in 1978 he chose to make this next movie, the one we're about to show, one in which Steve stars and also executive produced. It's a film version of a 96-year-old play by Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen, titled An Enemy of the People. Ibsen considered the most important and the most profound European dramatist since Shakespeare. Well, suffice to say, it's a story that has nothing to do with motorcycles or race cars. Well, everybody advised Steve against doing it, but Steve was determined to push himself as an actor and to do so with a flourish. Steve McQueen and a story by Ibsen will actually had its finger on a more timely subject than people realized. The story has to do with a scientist who tries to warn those in a small town in the 1800s about an environmental hazard. And it was in 1978 in this country when people first began beating drums about environmental issues, and that spread throughout the world. Now, the film had a very small budget. It was directed by George Schaefer, with a cast that also includes Charles Durning and Bibi Anderson. It's unlike any other film Steve McQueen ever made. Very few people were intrigued enough to go see it, thus it received very few bookings. And despite Steve McQueen's name being on it, it has rarely been seen anywhere since. It was actually shown 37 years ago. A most interesting movie it is, though, and we bring it to you now. From 1978, here's An Enemy of the People.